The bell is tolling. It's the coach. This is the 2019 season on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll get a look at Le'Veon Bell, fresh off a 100-yard performance a week ago, as it'll be the New York Jets taking on the Baltimore Ravens. I'll see you again at halftime as we preview some of the action coming up on Sunday. But for now, it's Thursday Night Football. And on the call, as always, it's Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, they love their crab cakes and they love their football. That's what Maryland does. And we are at M&T Bank Stadium down near the inner harbor of Baltimore. Here's a scene a short time ago. The Ravens introduced to this sellout crowd, and through a sea of pyrotechnics, out they came from the tunnel. We're set to go as the Ravens get ready to match up with the New York Jets. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Raven team as they get ready here. They've been playing well, really well. Winners of 5 of their last 7, but losers last time out. Meanwhile, for the visiting Jets, they're in a real groove of late. Winners of 5 of their last 6 games. It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Jets work their way onto the field, led by the number 3 overall pick in 2018, Sam Darnold. And during the offseason, Darnold was asked where he was looking to improve. He told everybody being more comfortable in the pocket. You look back to the numbers from his rookie campaign, 17 touchdowns and 13 starts. So just imagine what a relaxed and more experienced Darnold might be able to accomplish with a stronger set of receivers now here in 2019.
We're going to set. Hey, no, switch the mic right here. We'll go mic forward. Let's go.
They'll run here with a former Steeler. This is Le'Veon Bell, and he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. And we take a look now at the New York offense.
And congratulations on their win last week, but they didn't get a whole lot of time to celebrate it on Sunday. They were right back to work on Monday, but you'll have to do things differently when you prepare for a Thursday night game, because normally you'll take some time off. Here you get right back to work on the game plan mentally, and probably not put any pads on until you play again Thursday night.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. This one caught by Crowder. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
That's what I'm talking about.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Throwing here on 3rd down. Darnold got his man, Robbie Anderson.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. Now Brown. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. So here are the Ravens now under 12th-year coach John Harbaugh. They will be led out by the former Heisman Trophy winner back in 2016. Always a handful to contain, Lamar Jackson.
And the numbers were not pretty. I mean, they don't look right. When you throw 2 interceptions, no touchdown passes, there's no way to really make that work. But I thought there were a lot of positives in watching his game tape. I think he's close to putting on a good performance. Let's see if he can flip those numbers around in this game. And, of course, rally his team to a win.
Quick throw taken in by Snead. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore first down. Well, Snead figures to be an important veteran presence for Lamar Jackson. 2 years ago, it was a disappointing 2017 for Snead. That was in New Orleans, but then had a bit of a bounce-back campaign a season ago in his first go-around with Baltimore. 62 catches, 650 yards. Did have surgery in the offseason on his left index finger, but back to full health and ready to go.
Yeah, baby! Yeah!
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Jackson from the shotgun. That's caught by the former Sooner, Mark Andrews. And that's going to be another first down as the tackle made at the Jets' 42.
Well, from their point of view, this game could not be starting out much better, could it? Force a punt on defense, and now they're moving it crisply on offense.
Crisply, I like that. Yeah, moving it very, very well. Looks like the defense on their heels a little bit. You put a score in here, long way to go, but you're right, that's a heck of a start.
Yeah, and I think this is where the play caller is looking at his play sheet and saying, do I have that dagger play? Do I have that play and just finish them off right now? Because I think they'd love to gain that big advantage early.
Jackson's throw on target to Willie Snead. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. A big one there for the Ravens. It goes for 18.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a first down with a nice throw.
On first down, nothing opening up really on the running play. Give him maybe a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Hey, watch the screen, watch the screen. Watch the screen.
Now Jackson. They'll roll him out right. He's going to take off with it. Jackson always a threat to run. He's got the first down. He was the NFL's leading rusher among QBs a year ago.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
This is Ingram on 1st and 10. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. North of 100 yards, the 2 scores. And, you know, you got to give a lot of credit to the O-line. We talked a lot about him, but offensive line was good, too.
They're obviously in sync with each other, whether it's zone blocking, power running game, no matter what. He understands how to read them and find the creases that they provide.
On the draw, this is Ingram. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense.
And he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. Taking it in from 4 yards out as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turning into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. And New York set to take the field. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. And let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too. People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
One play has him. Past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Darnold off the play fake to Bell. Going for the deep ball. And nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's 2nd down. A look now at the lineup defensively for the Ravens. It's a unit that has had all sorts of issues against the pass. Dead last in the NFL, number 32 in the league.
And I think you're going to see some changes in the offseason, whether it's through the draft, free agency, maybe even both. They definitely need some help in the secondary.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41.
He's not going to get me.
They'll run it with Bell. Only a yard on the pickup there, so it leaves them needing a conversion here on 3rd and a tough 9.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just started in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Let's go.
From the gun on 3rd down, here's Darnold. Caught here by Bell. And he'll only get this to the 47. He needed a few more yards to pick up the 1st.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. You know, they were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, just what they're going through, whether they're seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. From the gun, it's Jackson. Steps away. He's going to take off with it. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A 1st down, a 16-yard gain. Everyone in this stadium knows Jackson can do that as well as any QB in the league. They talked about limiting some of his running this year, especially the design runs, but he's still going to scramble when he feels he has green in front of him. He led all quarterbacks last year, 695 yards rushing. And keep in mind, 80% of those came in the 7-game stretch when he was named starter late in the season. Jackson, he'll buy some time right. On the run, he'll let it go. That's caught inside the 20.
Illegal pass, offense.
Now that's one they hate. The ball's got to come all the way back.
So that's an explosive play, a really explosive play that gets wiped out, and they have to start over after the penalty.
So the illegal forward pass also costs him a down, and now it's 2nd and long. From the gun, Jackson, flush to his right. Snead's got it. 27 yards there, a 1st down. And the young buck showing that ability, that agility to dance outside of the pocket, complete the deep ball.
And don't think for a second that the coaching staff didn't have their heart rate accelerate a little bit there, right? Anytime you have those young quarterbacks and they get outside of the pocket, you're just hoping that they make good decisions because so many things can happen that can go wrong when you throw it downfield like that. He got away with it there and in a big way. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd and 9, Jackson flushed out right, and that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. To throw is Jackson, forced out to his left. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
When teams take shots at the end zone, you've got to defend it the same way you would defend the first down sticks. You defend the goal line exactly the same way. They can't cross that. You played through the receivers, and on that play, that's exactly what they did, and batted it away.
And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. Tucker named the league's all-pro kicker for the 3rd time in 2018.
Go ahead and admit it. The only time that you get excited about Justin Tucker kicking is when he actually misses.
It's
and
rare.
excited is not the right word. Surprise is more what we're talking about. 90.1% coming into 2019. He's incredible.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And New York set to take the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
The numbers for BAL on the ground in the game last week. 20 carries, 100 yards on the nose, and a score.
And now that he's playing a Thursday night game, short week, you know he spent a lot of time in the trainer's room in the cold tub trying to get his legs back for this game.
On 2nd down, it's BAL. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a 1st down. Keep the sticks moving.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. This is BAL. Patrick Onwuasor up to make the tackle.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter games turn into bigger runs later.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete, and he's going to be taken down with the 1st down at the Ravens' 34-yard line. So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 34. Here's Darnold on the catch. It's Crowder. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. That's good for a Jet 1st down, a gain of 13. That's where Crowder makes his hay in the slot. Jets hoping to see more of that going forward. He signed with him in March after the last 4 seasons being in Washington. Had 3 pretty good years and sort of tailed off last season due in large part to an ankle injury. Darnold completes it, and they'll get this down to the 10. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. First red zone opportunity now for the Jets. They've got a 1st and 10 from the 10. To the air again, Darnold. Throw complete to Herndon. And here he'll get it down to the 7. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often. When you get your backs in the shadow of your goal line, you've got to be physical in that situation because there's not a whole lot of space, not a lot of wild plays that can be run there.
It's put up or shut up time. Defensively, nice job just to make sure they didn't complete it on that play. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
So if you're an offensive coordinator and you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work, aren't you? You got to find a way to unlock the key to these defenses and put some big points on the board.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
On 2nd and 7, Jackson buying time to his left. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. There's no denying they want to get him involved. That's already the 5th time that they've looked his way in this first quarter.
So that tells me defensively that they want to insist on going in that direction. Make sure you got your best people in the area to try and take that away.
On 3rd down, Jackson being chased out left. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. Let's go. 10-3 our score after 1 here on EA Sports. So on 4th down, here's Sam Cook to punt it away. Back to receive it, Deontay Thompson. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. They'll call that a punt of 59 yards. Tough to do better than that. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. Here's the Jet offense now. They head out to take over. And it's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts. Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. Robbie Anderson, the man he was looking for, and it's 3rd and short. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
They'll try and run for it with BAL. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the 1st. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
I know the game's changed. A lot of people would say it's evolved. Look, I'm a little bit Neanderthal, okay? I love this. No exotic formations, no misdirection. Just line up and run the darn ball, pick up the 1st down. I love it.
Yeah, 3rd and short, that's what you're supposed to do. Like you said, old school, smash mouth football. And they'll keep it on the ground with BAL. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. Now as we look down, it appears we've got a Jet shaking up on the play. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside.
You go outside. 6 man. Check girls, check girls, check girls.
Off of play action, Darnold nowhere to escape, and he goes down. It's a safety blitz and a sack for Earl Thomas.
I think this is where we see how the game has moved along a little bit. Free safety, no blitz, but reads the play, has no responsibility in coverage, and takes a gamble and goes against the quarterback.
Well, is that a spot, though, where when he's coming, the quarterback needs to be able to find somebody or not necessarily?
Has to, because with that amount of time coming from the free safety position, someone should break open.
And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
Well, that's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. A 46-yard punt, 8 yards on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. This Ravens offense heads back out there, led by Lamar Jackson. He's been busy with his feet. He's been quite the scrambling man.
And obviously that can break down a defense, but a lot of it is just that they just get trapped with worrying about it so much that other things break down as well. You know, you break the huddle, and you're not just playing what comes out at you. You're like, oh, God, don't let him outside of the pocket. Don't let him beat us with his legs. And then he starts to beat you other ways.
Throwing is Jackson, escaping the pressure right. He'll run it, and he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. Able to make something out of nothing there. 17 yards and a first down.
Man, defensively, that hurts. They got him out of his rhythm. They had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away and get away for a gain.
The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. Here's Jackson. From the gun, he'll throw. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. The linebacker, C.J. Mosley, there in coverage.
And that's what he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
To throw again on second down. Jackson has got his man. It's Andrews. It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore first down.
Let's go.
Nice throw there by Jackson. You think about what a boost he gave Baltimore in the middle of last year. Led them to victories in 6 of their last 7 games as a starter, replacing Joe Flacco, who had the hip issue. That strong finish was good enough for the Ravens to capture their first AFC North crown since 2012. And now Jackson's a known commodity. He's the unquestioned starter, and with increased expectations and pressure on the former Heisman Trophy winner.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it. Sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. They'll try to run for the first with Ingram. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
So far this season, this is an offense that's proved its ability to move the football. I mean, they're in the top 5 in the NFL and picking up first downs, and they get the conversion here. I think a lot of that is due to how they win on.
Ingram churning. He lost the football, and it's scooped up by the Jets. He's got daylight. 30, the 20, 10, and he is in. Touchdown, New York. Even the great ones, some of the best, they're not immune to the fumble, and here it really hurts them.
If the ball gets away from any runner's body, that's when the defense pokes at it, swipes at it, swats at it, and finds a way to create a big play for themselves.
Point after, right down the middle, and we are even at 10 apiece. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way, the fumble return for a touchdown. This will be fielded at the 8. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. And we shift our attention to Mark Ingram. Looking for a bounce back. Had the fumble a moment ago that went for a touchdown the other direction. See if he can get back in rhythm.
And you have to be very careful about having too quick of a hook with really good players. I did a guy's game in high school where he fumbled 3 times in the first quarter, finished with over 300 yards on the night, later ended up in the NFL. If you've got a talented back, give it back to him.
From the 38, Jackson. They go screen. This is Ingram. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And that'll lead here to a 3rd down. Now that screen there on 2nd down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there, because trying is one thing. We can second-guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize that it's broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try and pick up the 1st down on 3rd down. That way you don't lose any yardage.
Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a 1st down.
Now that definitely hurts, because the mindset is getting a 3 and out there, and they don't get it done. They give up the scramble and a pickup for a 1st down.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Operating from the gun, Jackson steps away to his left. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down. Somebody couldn't reel it in. Second and 10 from the 33-yard line.
Mike, 54. Yep. Watch the twist. Check. Right there. 54. Right there.
They run from the pistol with Ingram. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. The Ravens on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12. Jackson operating from the gun. Dancing to his left. He can run for it, and he will. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down.
Well, partner, nothing comes open here, so he decides to escape out of there, and he doesn't pick up a 1st down, but he does gain additional yardage to set up a possible field goal attempt if they decide to go that route.
Tucker's kick is good, and they will take the lead at 13-10. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And New York set to take the field and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win 1st down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating 1st downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
A pretty big opening there on 1st down. 8 yards up to the 33. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. Bell, of course, 3-time 1,000-yard rusher. Sat out 2018, but you look back to 2017, a tick under 1,300 yards and almost 700 more receiving. On 2nd and 2, Darnold And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
The Jets on third down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This time they face a 3rd and 2. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. Well, they opted not to run it. They completed the pass on 3rd and 2, but they lost yardage to bring up 4.
Well, give credit to the guys on the other side of the ball. They snuffed out the play. But it does bring into question, 1, the play call, because they didn't run the ball there. They could have run it. And 2, just not getting it. That's got to be deflating for them.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. Mark Ingram now gears up to help lead this offense back out there. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they've realized that they've established the run pretty well, and teams are going to key on that. They thought they could open it up and have success through the air, and that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah, they've had success at least so far here in the second quarter. From the 35 on second down, Jackson. Now he'll square up and throw deep left sideline. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
Was trying to extend the life of that play, wasn't he? Got out of the pocket, ended up scrambling off to his left, trying to find anyone open downfield to try and make a big-time play.
Thought he had an opening there for a second, but that window closed pretty quickly. And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
On is the punter, Cook, who sends it away. Crowder now to return. A 46-yard punt, 4-yard return. And the Jets offense will be backed up to start this drive as they've got it 1st and 10. Robbie Anderson making his way back onto the field. You would have to think they're going to make it more of a priority to get him the football. You're losing here in the second quarter, and he's been really quiet.
I think all we have to do, and it's too bad we can't actually see the actual play sheet now from the coordinator.
And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him.
I think most quarterbacks would love to have the goal line actually extend up into the air and turn into a wall. They can put their back against it and know exactly where they are on the field so they don't end up in the end zone. Didn't do it on that play, but perilously close to the goal line.
On second down now, it's Bell, and that won't buy him much room. Just a 1-yard gain to the 5. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Darnold now to throw. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete. Certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down. Well, you got a young quarterback. Maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide open target, but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy.
And we shift our attention to Mark Ingram. A good job in the passing game, decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally you run to set up the pass. Here it feels like they're passing, hoping to set up the run and be more effective later on in the game.
Yeah, you can do it both ways. We usually talk about it in the reverse, however.
No doubt about it.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but they make them out of bounds. That does you no good.
And, he took that in one-handed. What a grab. That one covers 24 yards. It's a 1st down. Those are the types of throws that Jackson has to be more efficient with this year. He really put an emphasis on improving his passing accuracy in the offseason because last year as a rookie, 58%, that was it. And his quarterback coach said the ball is coming out of his hand cleaner. The timing looks better. That's what they're hoping for. Everybody knows he can run, but now he continues his quest to be more well-rounded and improve on his conservative 1,200 yards and 6 touchdowns he threw for last season.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Jackson eluding the pressure right. This one complete to Ingram. And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15. The Ravens get a new set of downs, give him 17 on that pickup. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Forced out to his left. Chris Moore there to make the grab as the Ravens push further out in front. Well, he's scrambled outside of the pocket, wondered what was going to happen there. He fired a dart. That's what happened.
He certainly did. Scrambled left, looked left, and then left it in the receiver's hands with some dispatch.
In the receiver's hands, in the end zone for the score. Tucker with the extra point, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. 5 plays there on that drive, and it's capped off by the Baltimore score. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The New York set to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Now a pass taken in by the tight end Herndon. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Back to throw, Darnold. This one caught by Crowder. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Again, Darnold. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. Throwing again is Darnold. He finds his target. It's Crowder. Now the Jets going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. Darnold going to lead the offense up 1st and 10. And he's hit on all 5 of his pass attempts on this drive so far. Now Darnold goes underneath for BAL. And a look at BAL, who remains down after that play. Appears to have gotten shaken up. We'll check on his status when we get back. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Darnold to throw again. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. Darnold going to lead the offense up 1st and 10. And he's hit on his last 7 straight passes. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. He was trying to find his tight end, Chris Herndon. And it's 2nd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. This drive, which was going so smoothly, all of a sudden it's a little bit of a roadblock here with 2 straight incompletions.
Yeah, apparently this defense has had enough. Apparently they're saying, no more. We're making a stand right here, right now. But it is 3rd and 10. They've got to get after him one more time.
Into the hands of his receiver, Anderson. And they will get to him at the 7 and stop him short of the first down marker. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. So they won't get a touchdown, but here's a chance to at least get 3 to end the first half. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Man, where has the season gone? We're into week 15 now. So let's give everybody a look at what's coming up here on what should be a very interesting weekend of football. In the early window on Sunday, one of the best happens up in Pittsburgh. A big one for the Steelers as they get set to match up with the Buffalo Bills. More good stuff later in the afternoon, one being down in the desert, where it'll be the Cardinals at home in Glendale, taking on the Cleveland Browns. And finally, on Sunday Night Football, a matchup we don't see too often, the Vikings and Chargers, purple versus powder blue, that comes your way from Southern California. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Ravens ready to receive it, and they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the second half. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
They'll run on first down. Ingram. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Again, they'll run with Ingram. And he's going to get this inside the 30. That one good for 13 and a Raven first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. On first down, it's Ingram. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
It's a party now. It's a party now.
On second down, it's Dixon. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. The pickup goes for 13 and sets him up first and goal.
The running game's played a huge part in getting him down to this point on the field. I say stay with it. Keep pounding the football. Keep driving. Keep grinding.
Yeah, even down in the red zone, keep going for it.
No doubt about it. Dance with what brought him.
And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up second and goal. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
Buying time to his left. And that's going to be intercepted. Jamal Adams with it, the all-pro safety. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
I think that interception happened for 2 reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit, and receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
A good start to the drive here as that's caught out on the left side. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. And a nice gain of 21 yards. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. By the end of last year, Herndon had solidified himself as the primary tight end for New York. And overall, second leading receiver in 2018 on the team behind Robbie Anderson. In fact, his 39 catches, most among rookie tight ends in the league a season ago. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Jets first down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes.
That's how we do it, baby.
And that's the second sack of the game, but this player, disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now second down and 22 yards to go. To throw is Darnold. Open man is Robbie Anderson. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for third down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. Powell on the catch. And he coughed it up. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And the return stops at the 39-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
They run. It's Mark Ingram. And he loses the football a second time.
That's it, baby. We don't work.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get them home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the first.
Now, that was a whole lot of open space out in front of him, wasn't it? I'm telling you, Brandon, when things are going right, they are going right.
And everything has been going their way for the most part. I saw that lane start to develop. Boom. He took advantage of it. From the red zone now, here's Jackson on first down. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. Willie Snead. His 5th touchdown now on the year as the Ravens push further out in front. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Second half, no matter what. Well, this first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
This is fielded at the goal line. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And New York set to take the field. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. So you can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Here's a throw out wide to Anderson. And some space here. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A gain there of 21 yards.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him? Either fellow receivers or offensive linemen. That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Now a run. This is BAL Powell. And able to push forward for right around 3 yards down to the 42.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
He sets to fire deep. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. They couldn't get anything going there out on the right side in the flat of a swing pass.
And didn't we have a discussion with their staff about wanting to get the backs more involved in the passing game? Huge emphasis for this game, but obviously the defense had other plans and really made a nice play.
Let's go, boys. Bring it up.
The Ravens offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Got out of the pocket, didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice, get rid of it, live to fight another down.
Undercross. Under crunch. Under crunch. He's checking. He's checking. He's checking. Crank. Watch the twist. Watch the twist.
2nd and 10. Here's Jackson again. Flush to his right. Now he'll pull it down. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. The coverage may be too good that time as he breaks away for 19 with his legs and a first down.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
Another carry for the workhorse tonight, Ingram. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Let's go, D.
On 2nd and 11 now. Jackson flushed out right. He'll try and run it. A gain there of 30 big ones.
Containing him is becoming a big problem. We've already seen this once earlier in this drive.
Yeah, and so now 2 times this has happened. Do you adjust something?
Yeah, I think you do. I think you got to start thinking about your rush lanes. Try not to either get too wide or too narrow. Make sure someone is there waiting for him to take off.
You better be afraid of me.
They'll run on first down. Ingram, and just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. His carries tonight, they're getting up there, so maybe one of those every now and then is understandable.
I would agree with that. Understandable every now and then. Sometimes you come back and you fake it to him and go play action. But other times you say, okay, they got him on that one. We'll come back to him in another carry.
Going for it all. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Tremaine Johnson. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. They needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the 3rd quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break. Taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
A pass there over the middle to start things out. And he'll be upended after a gain of 5, up to the 25-yard line.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation,
he rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the 4th quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
Now Tucker to add the PAT. And the lead is now 24. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Jet offense about to take over as they head out onto the field. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Play action. It's Darnold. That one complete to Anderson. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Ravens have got it. One quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Now that turnover might just about do it here. Fourth quarter, the lead that you've got, they can just run the football, run the clock.
You're exactly right. They played smart, couple of first downs, and this one should just about be over.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Squeeze, double up.
46-yard line.
And a 20th carry now for Ingram. And he stopped immediately there. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
He may try and run for this. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down. The last drive, remember, a similar situation. He forced the ball into coverage through the pick. He learned better there.
Yeah, similar to a golfer that's confronted with a shot that you just can't make. Sometimes you have to take your medicine, as they say, right? Just pull it down, take off, and go. Don't make something worse than what it was.
On first down, it's Ingram. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. On the stop there defensively, Marcus May with the tackle. The free safety roaming all the way up to the line of scrimmage to make that stop.
How about his ability to trust his eyes and figure out it was not a pass play and go fast towards the line of scrimmage in order to make that tackle.
Ingram again. And he's going to push his way down to about the 12. That second down run a big help as 7 yards leaves him with just a 3rd and 3 now.
Well, there's an example of patience being rewarded. Ran the ball on first down and got stuffed. Most people would scream, throw the ball here. In this situation, they stayed with their roots, stayed with running the football, and they got rewarded.
Now it's Jackson. And that is incomplete.
But that was certainly an aggressive call and an aggressive play. Instead of just going for the first down, took the shot in the end zone, went for the touchdown.
And on 3rd down, they said, forget about the sticks. We want 6. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And that'll push the lead from 24 up to 27. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points. But this widens it out, as you said. And now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So we take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC as the Jets come back out on offense. And it's right about this time of year you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
And I think for most teams, the obvious is to try and be the number 1 or number 2 seed. But when you look at it across the league and throughout the history of trying to get to the Super Bowl, the teams you really fear are the ones that get hot and sometimes sneak in at a 5 or a 6 seed, because we've seen those teams actually get to the Super Bowl and occasionally win it.
Yeah, you think of the Giants a couple of times. Steelers have done it. You're right. It has happened and will happen more in the future, I'm sure. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. The shotgun snap for Darnold. He's got Herndon, his tight end. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
To throw again on second down. Darnold got an open man. It's a noon one. Give him 12 yards there, and the Jets have a first.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Darnold now to throw. On the catch, it's Crowder. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Jet first down. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Here's Darnold. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Quincy Anoon with the intended receiver. That'll bring up second down. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Throw complete to Herndon. And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the first. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Now on 4th down here, that pass knocked away and incomplete. Defensively, that's Earl Thomas, the all-pro safety, knocking it free.
No surprise. They try to throw the ball on 4th down, but it gets batted down. They don't pick it up.
Well, a little football 101. When you're going toward that quarterback, you see he's going to start to throw. Get your hands up,
Get your hands up, affect the play, and then everyone, get your hands up. When the ball gets to the receiver, moment of truth, knock it away.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A gain there of 21 yards.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
That's what I do.
On 2nd down, Ingram. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that's going to make it 3rd down and 10.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
On 3rd down, Jackson escaping the pressure right. Completes it to Dixon. Not at all what they envisioned on 3rd down. 3 yards in the wrong direction. Here's Sam Cook now. As he's on to punt for Baltimore. So here, the men in charge are going to be looking at whether or not the receiver had possession of the ball as he went out of bounds.
And they have to make sure that the receiver got both feet down in bounds as well.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10. At the 49-yard line.
After review of the play,
the head coach relied on his eagle eye in the sky to make the right call and was told to challenge it, and it looks like it's paid off.
And from a coach's standpoint, when you throw that flag, it's probably a pretty tense moment. Here it pays off.
Yeah, you have that little bit of indecision. You throw it where you feel like you're right, and then you think, uh-oh, did I get it right? In this case, they can celebrate. That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. They start this with a run for Powell. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. From his own goal line, Darnold, and his throw's going to be incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
They'll get nothing out of the completion there, and it leads to a 4th down.
They dialed up the blitz on 3rd down, and your worry as a defense that they can hit you with a big play in that situation. Instead, the blitz pays off, able to rally to the football and make the play.
So a short drop, but he's able to get it out, and this is a good kick. With it is Brown. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Ravens set up well to begin their drive as it'll begin in enemy territory already. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the 4th quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. Know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they've managed to keep control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout, the roads are usually open.
They'll keep it on the ground. Ingram. And this may be a carbon copy as he'll again be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Now as we look down, it appears we've got a Jet shaken up on the play. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. Two runs for a net gain of nothing. Now here's 3rd and 10.
Let's go, D. Let's go.
Jackson from the shotgun, eluding the pressure right. He can run for it, and I think the ball's out. But this will fortunately wind up out of bounds. The escapability in evidence there is that one good for 15 and a first.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. So another score there. Often you talk about the three phases of the game: defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a fourth phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the fourth quarter. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it's Mark Ingram who caps it off with a touchdown run. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And the Jets set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Jets first down. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
So it's Jets football as we get you reset here. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Darnold. And Anderson's got it. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do because what they normally would do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot that they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards him.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Now Darnold, open is Powell. That's complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Jets first down. Now it's Darnold. Completes it to Powell. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup, and that'll make this a 2nd down. To throw is Darnold. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
One last throw now for Darnold, and that is incomplete. 2 seconds left on the clock. Brandon Carr on the coverage there. So 4th and 15, but the offense is staying out there to go for it. One final shot. They'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And that is intercepted on the sideline. Wait, no. They'll say no. It was caught out of bounds. So this is just an incompletion here. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Ravens, the final 2 weeks are going to tell the story for them as they move to 9-5 with a win. And they'll get a few extra days to savor this one before they take on the Cleveland Browns. Meanwhile, for the Jets, their playoff hopes take a hit as they drop to 7-7. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.